Ladies and gentlemen, when Clash in Italy went off the air and we got the ending that we did tonight, the first thing that I thought of when this show was over was this fucking company took the World Heavyweight title off of CM Punk for this slop that we've been given. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I want to try to remain calm, but I have a feeling it's not going to happen. We are in 2026. We're in 2026. And WWE has not had a good year at all. The product sucks. Ratings are down. Business is down. And what is the solution that this fucking dumbass creative team comes up with? Oh, 2 years ago, the Bloodline versus MFT, it worked then. We might as well try it again now. Are you kidding me? So we are going to waste weeks of television of Jacob Fatu deciding whether or not to side with Roman Reigns or Solo Sikoa. Are you kidding me? That's the television that you come up with as we enter the summer of WWE? That? When Roman Reigns went on the WrestleMania post show and said, we got to fix this. We're not going to do any of this part time crap anymore. The options for this man was endless. I mean, they did Jacob Fatu first, which I didn't mind. But we didn't need an entire feud if this is the direction that we were going in. I mean, you could have LA Knight, Gunther, Oba Femi, Braun Breaker, Penta, Seth Rollins. There were a lot of options for Roman Reigns to feud for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this is what we get. We get bloodline garbage in 2026. I'm over it. I am over it. It's going to be a long fucking summer for you marks. It is going to be a long summer for the people that sit there and worship WWE all the time. If you're one of those fans that sit there and you just take and take and take and take and you don't voice in your opinion, and you take and take and take and you just take more of their slop and you pay thousands of dollars to go to the show, you deserve this. And I mean that the nicest way possible. You truly deserve this. And that's not it, folks. That's not it. We got Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi tonight. And I understand that they were trying to protect Oba Femi, but what you did was you gave Oba Femi an unnecessary loss You gave Obafemi a loss to a guy who's going to be retired in 2 months. Nice. Nice. And now you've taken a lot of momentum away from Obafemi because it's just a guy he is just on the list of another guy who's gotten victimized and conquered and F5'd by Brock Lesnar. Nice. You had a layup. You had a layup with Obafemi after WrestleMania. Take someone from the upper mid card, feud him with Obafemi for a couple weeks. I don't know who they could have picked, but they could have picked literally fucking anybody on the roster who's, got a name to him. And you could have done that. Obafemi wins the feud. Obafemi goes on to win King of the Ring. Your main event of SummerSlam is Obafemi versus Roman Reigns. And you crown Obafemi the World Heavyweight Champion in front of a sold-out crowd at US Bank Stadium. But nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. We have no fucking idea what to do with Obafemi after WrestleMania, so we know what we're going to do. We're going to have him continue to feud with Brock Lesnar. We're going to do this fake retirement angle where we're going to try to make people believe that Brock Lesnar's actually retired. You didn't have me fucking fooled, I'll tell you that right now. And then Brock Lesnar comes back. We get this match tonight, 6 minutes. And it was your typical Brock Lesnar match. Which is not good because straight up Brock Lesnar matches are not good. The only one that was fine was the one at WrestleMania because we needed to accomplish something and that happened. Brock Lesnar put Femi over big time at WrestleMania. But now I feel like I don't want to say you've thrown it away because that's a big moment. But what you've did is you've taken a lot of Obafemi's momentum away from him now. He's just another guy that got victimized and conquered by Brock Lesnar. And for the entire show overall, I basically talked about the bad. The first match I did not like. That ending felt so flat too. That ending of the first match was so flat and the pacing of the whole show. Guys, we had to wait. It is an afternoon show. Alright? The show's going on in the afternoon. And it is the end of Sol Ruca versus Becky Lynch. And I'm nearly on the couch. I'm nearly falling asleep on the couch waiting for Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu to come on. We had about 25 minutes to spare between the ending of Becky Lynch and Sol Ruca and Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. That sucks. That fucking sucks. That is terrible pacing right there. Terrible. It's just that there's not enough matches. 2 matches an hour is absurd. I'm sorry. That's actually absurd, man. You get 2 matches an hour, 5 matches in nearly a 3-hour show. That is ridiculous. And the last thing I have to say before we actually dive into the whole show is shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies, man. They were genuinely, out of the entire show, they were the best part. I would say, out of all matches, that Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley had the best match of the night. And that's fucking shocking. For me. That is shocking. Rhea Ripley's great. Jade Cargill, not so much. They had the best show on the. They had the best match on the show. That just goes to show you how awesome Rhea Ripley is. So I appreciate you guys joining me this early evening, Sunday, May 31st. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I mean, it felt too even in the afternoon. It felt like too long of a show, but I mean, after this, I've got the rest of the night to do whatever, so I'm totally cool with that. Um, but man, what a week it's been again. In the world of wrestling, we have a lot of content up here on the Big Five Field channel. We still have a whole lot of stuff that if you haven't catched up, like you gotta catch up. We have Double and Nothing from last week. We have Raw from Monday. We have my vlog from Dynamite and Collision on Wednesday, which will be up in the last 20 seconds of the podcast. And all you got to do when you get there is click on it, and it's going to take you right to the vlog. And then we also have SmackDown from Friday. I'm going to have that up in the last 20 seconds as well. So we have so much content up here on the channel. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. And we are going to have another busy week as well. We're going to have um, an afternoon, like early evening review of Raw tomorrow. Um, I won't be able to watch it live, but I think you can go back from the beginning, like late, and like watch it from the beginning. I think I've never had to do it before, but I'll try it tomorrow. Um, Raw starts at 2 o'clock, and I don't get out of work till 3, so we'll see how that goes. So Raw review tomorrow. Wednesday, we're 50-50 on AEW. I might be doing something on Wednesday night. Um, I will let you guys know on Twitter. It could be Wednesday night. I might not just be watching the show live. Um, or it might be doing so I might do something Thursday for Dynamite because I really want to review the show this upcoming week. They have a really strong card coming up. We have like Kevin Knight versus Speedball for the TNT title, Roosh versus MJF, Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis. So I definitely want to review Dynamite this week. And then Friday, we will have SmackDown, another early start time. Um, so a lot of content. We'll have Raw and SmackDown up early this week because of the international shows. So it'll be just be a basic 3 shows this week, and then that'll be it, guys. So, all right, we might as well dive into it. Might as well dive into this show. Um, I will say, shout out to the people in Turin, Italy, where this show was. Um, that crowd was on fire, and all these international crowds are on fire. It's what we expect at this point. I mean, they eat this shit up, and it's a crowd like Italy that has been starving for a WWE show to come to them, and not only this big WWE show, but a pay per view, a PLE, coming to Turin, Italy, and they were on fire. They were great. My favorite part of the entire night from the crowd was when they were singing Brock Lesnar's. Brock Lesnar has no lyrics to his song, but singing out the beat to Brock Lesnar's music and then the Oba Femi entrance, how loud and energetic they were for that. Those were my favorite parts of the night from the crowd. So shout out to um, Turin, Italy. They were a fantastic crowd for this show. For I would say a very mid pay per view, a very mid to not so good pay-per-view in my opinion. So we kicked off with Gunther challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. And honestly, this was the match I was looking forward to the most because I felt like, in my opinion, I felt like Gunther was going to win this match going into it. There's more for there's SmackDown would benefit more from Gunther being the WWE champion rather than Cody Rhodes being the WWE champion. For Cody's sake, it probably would be better if Gunther was the WWE champion. They did not do that, of course. Um, and the ending was so flat. And this was the opening match. And if I told you before this show started, if I told you that Cody Rhodes and Gunther was going to get less time than Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill and Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka, you would have flat out told me that's not happening. That's just not happening. So this match, a WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Gunther, went 11 minutes. 11 minutes. What a disgrace that is. I'm sorry. That's a disgrace. That really is. And they had their thing where they was doing Cody cutters and choke holds and chops, and it felt like, honestly, watching this match, it felt like they were going to have another match because it felt like they were holding back what they could really do in there. And we've seen them had a great match before. They did it in 2020. Yeah, 2024 for the Crown Jewel Championship. They did it in Saudi Arabia. That match was great. And I thought going into this was going to be the match of the night. With the ending and everything, this match was fine at best. At best, this match was fine. And for Cody Rhodes and Gunther standards, that's not good. That's honestly not good. And again, I'm watching it and I just felt like the way they were wrestling, it's like they're going to have another match. They're going to have another match with each other, and it's probably going to be at Night of Champions. They figured, fuck, we have no creativity at all. We just have to coast by here. That's literally what they're doing with their weekly TV. They are coasting by TV. And now they're going to do this match again, I would imagine, at Night of Champions. And the ending came. The ending was so flat, underwhelming. The ending came where Gunther got hit with a crossroads and Cody covered the leg further away from the rope, and Gunther's foot was clearly under the bottom rope the entire time, but then awkwardly he lifts his leg up And it's like, what was he trying to do? Was he trying to put his foot on the, like, he didn't get his foot on the rope on time. Like, he should have just left his foot underneath the bottom of the ring. Like, that I understand that they're trying to protect Gunther because we're getting another match out of this. There's no way that this is the end of the feud. There's no way. So we're getting another match out of Cody and Gunther, probably at Night of Champions. At this point, I don't know if Gunther's going to win, which is very sad because this is the guy that um, this is the guy that retired John Cena, and to be put in this feud for the title right before SummerSlam, it just makes it feel like he's gonna lose. So I don't like that. I don't like that. Gunther's too good for that. And yeah, they could have had a way better match than this. And I'm hoping the second time they go at it, the match is better because I know what we saw here, they can do better. And 11 minutes for the WWE Championship on a PLE, that's a joke. Honestly, fuck Triple H for that. That's wild. So, Cody retained the championship, and honestly, it was fine at best. And I just don't think that's good for these two guys and the way this finish came about. So, overall, I really didn't like it. I really didn't like that match. Um, the match that I did like the most, literally can't believe I'm about to say it, is Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. I thought that was the best match the entire night. And they had a way better match. They had a better match than they did at WrestleMania. The match at WrestleMania was better. And they were given more time here. And clearly, they have tremendous chemistry. They have really good chemistry. And it took. Jade Cargill needed the right opponent to get the best out of her. I don't think Tiffany Stratton got the best out of her. I don't think Jordan Grace was just a TV feud. They needed the right opponent to get the best possible match out of Jade Cargill, and Rhea Ripley was that opponent. This was really good. This was a really good match. So, I will go over a couple moves in this match. They're on the outside, and Jade throws Rhea against the ropes and hits her with a knee strike to the face, which made really loud impact. They're in the ring, and they're trading blows. I think a couple more stuff's happening. At this point, I was like, all right, this match is getting pretty good. Like, this is getting pretty good. And they're just going elbow for elbow with each other. Jade tried to go for the Jade in. Rhea ducked, hit a drop kick, but Jade ducked. And then Rhea went for the headbutt. And then she went for Riptide, but Jade countered it into a power bomb, and Rhea kicked out at 2. Rhea went for the Riptide again. Jade went for the Jaden. Rhea snuck under her, hit the Riptide. No, she didn't hit the Riptide. Jade countered it into a tornado DDT, which was really nice. And that's you never see Jade Cargill do that. So that was really good. That spot was really nice. Um, where am I? Oh, B-Fab and Michin come out, and they're just kind of standing there. And Jade goes for the pump kick. She tries for Jaded again. Rhea hits the riptide. And the only bad thing about this match was this botch right here. So Rhea goes for the cover. She covers the leg. And B-Fab, what B-Fab is supposed to do is she's supposed to grab Jade's foot and put it on the rope. B-Fab couldn't get to it in time. So Jade had great ring awareness where she realized B-Fab is not going to grab my foot in time, so I have to put it up on the rope myself. So it's a botch from B-Fab, but it's a great recovery by Jade Cargill. So Rhea goes to the outside. She stalks B-Fab and Michin to turn around. Charlotte Flair is standing right there. She stands on top of the barricade and she tries to get revenge on B-Fab and Michin for taking out Alexa Bliss this past Friday on SmackDown. And then Charlotte would return the favor because Jade would hit the Jaded and Charlotte would put Rhea's foot on the bottom rope. So Jade got her foot on the bottom rope and Rhea Ripley got her foot on the bottom rope. Jade went for a choke slam. Rhea Ripley got the headbutt. She hit Riptide on Jade one more time, and she pinned Jade to retain the Women's Championship. Again, that was the best match on the show. Couldn't believe I'm saying that because this was probably the match I was least looking forward to on the entire show. This is the match I probably had the lowest expectations for going into this show. So the fact that I had very low expectations for this and Rhea and Jade were able to put on a really good match, that's great. That's a great sign, and I'm happy for I'm happy for Jade. Okay, I am. It's been, I don't want to say it's been a rough going, but like she hasn't exactly put on the best matches, and she just needed the right opponent to have a very good match with, and Rhea Ripley was that opponent. And one more thing before we move on. The other thing that I didn't like is the fact that we got 2 rope breaks in this match. When we previously got a fuck finish in the last match with Gunther's foot being under the rope. I didn't like that. Whoever's producing that match with Cody and Gunther, and then whoever's producing this match, they have to communicate. You would feel like they would have to communicate and be like, hey, like, I'm doing a rope break spot or whatever. I'm doing foot under the rope. Try not to do that here. They back to back. It's not like we got it one match and then a match later on in the show. We got it back to back. So I just don't feel like that's good producing right there for whoever's producing these matches. But no, man, outside of that, I thought this was really good. And this was probably the best match on the entire show. Brock Lesnar over Femi. Brock Lesnar over Femi was next. And these guys were out here ore farming for about 10 minutes. The Italy crowd singing Brock Lesnar's beat to his music. And the crowd thunderously chanting for Oba Femi. Brock Lesnar went after Obafemi before the bell rang. Brock Lesnar hit 4 F5s right at the start of the match. Obafemi kicked out at 2. Brock Lesnar went for the Kimura. Obafemi was able to counter out of it. Brock Lesnar hit another F5, and Obafemi kicked out. Obafemi then went for elbows, and he missed an elbow, and he got suplexed, and they're on the outside, and Brock Lesnar F5'd him again for a 6th time through the announcer table, and then they're in the ring, and Oba catches Brock into the Fall of Grace powerbomb position, and Brock Lesnar is able to leap out of it and lift up Obafemi one more time for a 7th F5, and Brock Lesnar casually pins Obafemi. 6 minutes, Brock Lesnar wins clean as a whistle. And look, they did protect Obafemi. They did make Obafemi look strong. This guy got hit with 7 F5s. One of them was through the announce table. He kicked out of 4 F5s to begin the match. So, in defeat, they did make Obafemi look strong. But there's more bad that came out of this than there was good. And I might not be in the majority of it, and that's fine. If you liked it and you thought this was a fun 6-minute match, good for you. Number one, this was a completely unnecessary loss for Obafemi. I understand that Obafemi is going to lose at some point, but number one, his first loss should have been when he loses the World Heavyweight Championship. That should have been his first loss. And who knows when that happens. It could be a year and a half, 2 years from now. That should have been Obafemi's first loss. He lost way too quickly in his run on the main roster. And it's an unnecessary loss because he lost to Brock Lesnar in 2026. Brock Lesnar is going to retire in 2 months. Obafemi is on the rise to possibly be the biggest wrestler in the WWE, the face of the WWE. And he's losing to Brock Lesnar in 2026. Why are we booking one of our top wrestlers to go 50-50 with Brock Lesnar? I don't give a fuck if it's leading to a 3rd match in the trilogy. If you really want to do a 3rd match at SummerSlam, you know what you really should have done? Is Obafemi wins in the same fashion at WrestleMania. Brock comes back for more. He's like, I'm not done until I beat you. And Obafemi says, this time if I beat you, you have to retire for good. And they could throw whatever stipulation in there. whatever they want. They did not need to have Brock Lesnar beat Femi here. You pretty much killed most of this guy's momentum. He feels like everybody else that got conquered by Brock Lesnar throughout Brock's career. You made Femi look vulnerable. You are supposed to make Femi look like a fucking beast. Yeah, you protected him, but he should have never lost that match. He should have never lost. There's no need. There's no need. And we're going... I feel like this is... For Femi's sake, we're going backwards here. We are going backwards when it comes to Femi. And he's in the King of the Ring tournament. And we'll talk about those in a little bit. But I feel like he's not going to win that tournament now. Because he's feuding with Brock Lesnar. And clearly, we're getting a third match at SummerSlam. That's obviously the end game here. And he's in King of the Ring. And he's obviously not going to win. And that sucks in my opinion. That really does suck. I feel like we're going backwards with Femi. The guy should be a world champion this year. I'm not saying you have to... I'm not doing this long game shit and oh my god, let it play out. No, he was the hottest wrestler in the WWE coming out of WrestleMania. He was the most talked about guy coming out of WrestleMania. You strapped the rocket to him immediately. You put that title on him at SummerSlam. They're not going to do that now. If they don't put the World Heavyweight title on Femi at the end of this year, it would be a huge fumble by the WWE. Huge. And don't tell me, oh, well, they're going to give it to him in a year. Nope. You should have done it when he was white hot coming out of WrestleMania. You should have built that up immediately, making him truly the next big thing. Wow, this guy is a fucking force. He forced Brock Lesnar to retire. He ran through the Raw roster. And then went on to win the King of the Ring tournament. And he beat Roman Reigns' ass in the main event of SummerSlam. And now he's the World Heavyweight Champion 5 months after being called up to the main roster. But now he's going to go on. And he's going to have this match. And he's going to retire Brock Lesnar. He'll have that. And then... Are we gonna put him in the feud for the world title? Because that's where he needs to be. And it's unfortunate that he's not going to be undefeated going into that, because now he's suffered an unnecessary loss to Brock Lesnar in a match where we're going to forget about. We're going to forget about that match that happened tonight. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Sol Ruca, Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I thought the match was decent. I thought it was a decent match. But hey, Sol Ruca won. And that's what needed to happen. So that made me feel a little bit better coming out of that match with Brock Lesnar and Femi. Still didn't make me feel better overall about the show, but the moment was good. I would say it was probably the best moment of the entire show, if I'm being honest with you. Sol Ruca going on. She's been booked terribly. Terribly. The first month of the main roster. And humiliation after humiliation, botch finish. Um, that fucking horrible finish. That's that 2.5 minute match with a horrible finish at Saturday Night Main Event. At least she ended up winning the title here. And what I hope, all I can hope for it with this follow up is the WWE put a lot of effort into this Intercontinental Championship with Becky Lynch holding it. And I hope they put the same or just as much effort into the championship with Sol Ruka holding it. So that's all I can hope for. And then the main event. The main event, we had Tribal Combat for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns defending the championship and his Ulafala against Jacob Fatu. So they're brawling in the crowd. Roman throws a bucket of ice at Jacob Fatu. There's like a little drink stand out in the stands area. Roman's throwing food up to the fans. For a tribal combat match with anything goes, really all they did was they brawled in the crowd. They used steps. They used a table. It wasn't as violent as they advertised it. And of course, WWE is never violent. AAA is, though. Let me tell you, that match, oh my gosh. Chef's kiss. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Chad Gable and El Grande Americano. And then in the ring, we had a callback to John Cena and Umaga because Roman Reigns has the steel steps in the ring. Jacob Fatu's on the outside. And Roman Reigns just throws the steel steps right at Jacob Fatu. So Roman goes to the spear. Jacob Fatu super kicks Roman. And Jacob Fatu has the Tongan death grip in. And Roman, he's in it for a very long time. He's fighting out of it. And Jacob Fatu just pushes him out the ring. And he goes for a suicide dive. But Roman meets him at the ropes for a Superman punch. Roman then spears Jacob Fatu and takes out these two poor security guards in the process, who are literally sitting there, like facing the crowd and just minding their own business. And then they get absolutely mollywopped by the barricade when Roman Reigns spears Jacob Fatu. So now they're in the ring, and Roman spears Jacob, and Jacob kicks out at 2. So that was a good near fall. In the ring, Jacob is doing the shake, and Roman Superman punches him, and Jacob completely no-souls it, and Roman slams his head on the exposed turnbuckle. He slams it on the other side of the exposed turnbuckle. Roman goes for the spear, but it's Jacob who ends up hitting the spear on Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns kicks out at 2. Now Roman's got the momentum, and Roman spears Jacob through the table, and Jacob gets up from the table spot, and Roman picks his poison, spears Jacob Fatu, and he retains the World Heavyweight Championship. And the Usos come out after this match, and it's Jey. It's Jey Uso putting the Ulafala on Roman Reigns, and commentary brings up that tomorrow night, Jacob Fatu is going to have to acknowledge Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw. He's going to have to do his part. And as they're leaving, we see the MFTs in the stands. We see Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tala Tonga over the barricade. And Roman mouths, "I've got something for you too." And he also says, "Y'all are next." So, isn't that fucking wonderful, ladies and gentlemen? It's 2026. I mean, I ranted about this in the beginning, and you guys could go check it out if you missed it. But we took the World Heavyweight title off of CM Punk for this slop. I feel insulted as a fan. I really do. If you haven't already, I already ranted about it at the top of the review. So, so let's go over the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. And these brackets suck, by the way. I thought maybe, like they did it. I don't know how they did fatal four ways or triple threats last year. I thought maybe they would get out of that. Nope, they didn't. They got fatal four ways for King of the Ring. 16 people, and we have 4 fatal four way matches. So we have Penta, Oba Femi, Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes in one match. I would expect Oba Femi's going to win that. And then in the other match down below, we have Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest. So I think Braun Breaker is going to win that match. So, and then we go to the right. Seth Rollins, Javon Evans, Tala Tonga, and Ricky Saints. That's 2 wasted spots right there. Why in the fuck is Tala Tonga in this tournament? Where literally Ilya Dragunov is sitting on the sidelines doing nothing. And they have Tala Tonga, who's slow as a snail in the ring. With guys like Javon Evans and Seth Rollins, by the way. And then we have Jey Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor in the last Fatal 4-Way. So I would expect Oba Femi, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and LA Knight to win these Fatal 4-Way matches. Somehow, I think Brock Lesnar is going to end up costing Oba Femi the tournament. So I don't think that, unfortunately, I don't think Oba Femi is going to win the King of the Ring tournament this year. I think Brock Lesnar goes to. I think Brock Lesnar cost Oba Femi the match because Paul Heyman's also managing Braun Breaker too, so he could get Brock involved in that. And I think Seth Rollins will end up beating LA Knight. So your finals at Night of Champions will be Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, with them feuding, and once and for all, they talk about killing the Vision. I think Seth Rollins is winning the King of the Ring tournament this year. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. And then, this is way worse. Get this, folks. They have Liv Morgan. Yes. Women's World Heavyweight Champion Liv Morgan is in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Why? Because that is WWE admitting straight to your face they have nothing for their women's world heavyweight champion. They have zero. Awful. That is awful. So we have Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green. And then on the bottom bracket, we have Sol Ruka, Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte Flair, and Jade Cargill. And then in the top bracket, we have Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, Julia, and Lash Legend. And then in the bottom bracket, we have Bayley, Raquel Rodriguez, Kiana James, and JC Jane. I don't need to tell you who's winning each match to figure out. All I'm going to tell you is this is very predictable. Charlotte Flair is winning the Queen of the Ring this year. It's going to be Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. So, yeah, man. That's your Clash in Italy review. Shout out to the two women's matches. I thought, honestly, those were the two best matches on the entire show. And honestly, I cannot believe they killed Femi's momentum. And I didn't think Brock Lesnar... I didn't think Femi was going to win this because I know how stupid WWE is, but I just actually can't believe they did it. And they had Femi lose for no reason. No reason at all. It's useless because he's losing to a guy who's retiring in 2 months. Great job. And he's in King of the Ring, and he's going to lose again. Nice job, WWE. Nice job, Triple H. Alright, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you for the Raw review tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your thoughts on the Clash in Italy show. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok, Conlon_Joseph, and I will see you guys tomorrow for your Monday Night Raw review. So, alright, guys, I'm out. Peace.